Well, welcome to EQN Sports, the replay. I'm Amy Wilson. We're here at the South Point. The World Series finale is going on, and this is a happening place. We're going to talk about round number 2 from the NFR and also a story that you definitely don't want to miss. I'd like to welcome all of our guests today. Ross Ashford, thank you so much for being here. We also have Bobby Joe Hill and Tee Woolman joining us up. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so we want to start by talking about the NFR round number 2. We're going to show you those highlights. And if it looks familiar from round number 1, that's because Tyler Wade and Wesley Thorpe did exactly what they did in round number 1, 3.7 to win $33,687 a man. Eric Rogers and Paul Eves second, then Brenton Hall, Caden Profili, Coleman Proctor and Logan Medlin, Luke Brown, Travis Graves, and Clint Summers and Jake Long. Those were your money winners in round number 2. So there were some surprises last night as well, and we're going to start with those videos. Take a look at this run. Dustin and Levi not at all what we expect from Levi Lord. Guys, break this down for us.
Roscoe, here they go.
You know, I don't know. I thought Dustin did a good job right there, and Levi usually does such a good job about just catching those steers whenever Dustin turns them fast, and I don't know. I think he maybe got a little bit behind right there, but I wouldn't expect it again tonight.
Any other comments?
Well, I'm with Ross right there. It looked like he got just a titch behind. Maybe was a little late on his entry, and the steer really got away from him right there. And
take the back right there, didn't he?
Yeah. Back right there with his rope. But I would probably do the same thing again tonight.
We'll take one more slow motion look at what happened here. Disappointing for that team.
Yeah, he hit his back right there right before the delivery. It killed it.
Ross, explain what that does. I mean, obviously we see it, but
yeah, I mean, you take the back right there when you go to take your last swing. I mean, you're pretty much committed on throwing. You're planning on throwing, and so that just kills all your momentum and takes everything that you've been building since you left the box away from you. But I think that's bad luck. Maybe that steer kind of jumped up in the air right there. You know, I wouldn't change a lot. If I was Levi. That's just tough luck. Hate to see that.
Some really tough luck for Caleb and Junior as well, as we just saw. Guys, tell us what happened here.
Well, it looks like to me he's getting right there. He's feeding his rope, and he just opens his hand. He's just opened his hand right there at the back of his delivery, and it went out the back door. It happens to everybody one time or another. It just happens that when he opens his hand, it's behind him. I've done it a couple of times myself, coming forward, and your rope will go forward, and he just opens it up when he's bringing it behind him, and it goes out the back.
Man, how disappointing is that when you're at the NFR and I mean, I guess he proves he is still human after what we've seen him do the last few years or several years, but that has to be so disappointing.
I don't know. We thought it was possibly a barrier, hung his rope, like everybody was looking down and then watching the replay. He must have too much Johnson & Johnson baby powder on his rope or something, because that's bad luck right there for some of the best guys in the world for that to happen to on a big stage like this.
Oh, yeah. I hate to see that for these guys. So look out the next few rounds. A lot to come from them. But let's take a look at the top 3 guys in the money. This is Brenton Hall and Caden Profili, 4.2 seconds. What do you guys like about this run?
I thought it was a great job right there. Brenton looks like he's just a skosh off the barrier, but sets the steer up really good, and Caden just heels him down. Really good run.
Yeah, they've been making that run all year. I mean, Brenton is headed great, and Caden, I don't think I've seen him miss a steer in the last couple months. I mean, he is just on fire. He's heeling so good, so good. He heeled that first one like he'd run that steer 100 times, and he looked just as good right there. I think they're going to do a lot of good this week.
And I think when the steer stepped to the right and stayed out in the middle of the pen, it just let them finish fast, just like this one here of Rogers and Eves.
Yeah, this is Eric Rogers, Paul Eves. They were 3.9. That won them second place.
He got a great start right there, Sarah. Just a little bit off to the right, gives you a little more room at the Thomas and Mack, and then Paul just does a great job of heeling him and finishing the run right there where you can finish the face.
all these runs that they're winning with, they just look so controlled, and it looks like they're ahead of the run. They're not behind. They're not having to try to throw their whole rope and make all this crazy stuff happen. They're just drill the barrier and put it on them, handle them perfect. I mean, it looks like they can make that run all day.
That looked like the run that Brenton Hall made in the first round, like drilled the barrier and was at the steer's hip and just turned him off and was 3, just like it was an easy run. And there's guys that's made like wild runs in their 4.7 that you think were awesome, and they just run and catch in 3.9.
So one thing for sure right here at this rodeo, it's how close you get to the barrier. You get real close to the barrier, the steers are just right there, and it's a layup. And if you miss it a little bit, you watch them steers will be a long way from the header. And Eric, he drilled the barrier right there, and he's got him on a short rope, handles him. If you watch Brenton's run back, he misses a barrier just a little bit. And he has about a coil and a half out, and the steer's a little bit further. But great runs, but it's just how close you get to the barrier.
Yeah, the difference between a 3.9 and a 4.2, but now we get to look at that 3.7, the winning run, the exact same time as round number 1. Tyler Wade and Wesley Thorpe. These guys are on fire, aren't they?
They are. T. Wade's been doing a great job. I mean, he misses a barrier right here, but he's already got a couple swings off, and he's coming with it. Gets him roped right there, and Wesley pulls off a great shot. I think that's a pretty tough shot, but they make a heck of a run.
And a lot to be said about their horsepower. They are riding some amazing horses.
They're riding great horses. That horse of T. Wade's is awesome. I mean, he gives him a go every time. I mean, he just lets him stay with it to the horns. And then Wesley's on that great horse Turbo that Patrick Smith's rode for forever. I mean, he's got to be one of the best heel horses going. And Wesley does not miss very many steers on him. I mean, that's healing. Just not that easy of a shot, and he makes it look easy.
And as you watched it back on the heading, T. Wade was saying last night he felt his horse stepping on him, so he had to reach. And you can see here, he had already reached way before the horse started stepping.
It's happening fast in your mind,
it's just his T. Wade being T. Wade, just going for first.
It was a great run. All of them were.
Yeah. Good stuff right there. It's been so much fun to watch. We can't wait to see what continues to happen at the NFR. We want to go ahead and show you how things are looking after 2 rounds. We know how important that average is and what it pays. There's T. Wade and Wesley Thorpe, 7.4 on 2 head. Brent Hall and Caden Profili have been so good, 8.1 on 2. And there's Coleman Proctor, Logan Medlin, 8.3. And Derek Begay at Jonathan Torres, 8.5 on 2. So great job to all of those. Here are what the standings look like. With the amount of money that's up for grabs every single night, it shifts a lot. Tyler Wade is number 1, $269,000. We'll also show you a look at the healers, and leading those world standings, of course, Wesley Thorpe, $269,000. So exciting to see the amount of money that's available each and every night. And of course, we'll have to wait till the very end to see how it all shakes out. It's always exciting. Yeah. Round number 10. Any final comments about the NFR so far, or expectations for the next several?
Oh, it's going to change a little bit. You're going to see Dustin and Levi get it worked out a little bit. Caleb and Junior, they're going to turn it around, and it's going to be exciting. It'll be a race.
Like I was talking to Clint when they went out the first round, and they're saying they're out of the average. They're not out of the average because everybody's going for first or trying to win every night. So I'm going to say 8 head is going to get good average money out here this week just because everybody's going for first. And there's going to be mess-ups, just like Jake's horse slipped in the box and steer went to the right and was out of range. So
yeah, so many different variables can come into play throughout 10 rounds.
No, definitely. Any of these teams have a great chance still. There's no telling who's gonna get it done, but it'll be a good race.
Yeah, great insight from all of you guys. Thank you for that. I mentioned a story that Chelsea Schaefer wrote. It's on the Team Roping Journal's website. You can check it out there. But I wanted to talk about this with all 3 of you. Of course, our hearts still break for your family, Ross, and losing your brother, Ace. And so I would love for you guys to tell this story. Bobby Joe, I think I'll start with you because you went back and you looked at the draw and you found the last steer that Ace ran. Kind of take us from there.
All right, so it started off, we was going to have one for everybody at this last amateur rodeo that we put on. And I had probably 45 steers, and I think I needed 50-something. So I kind of went and had to dip back down in the NFR pen that I had set back. And at that time, they probably weighed 350. They're still small, so I kind of got the bottom end of the steers off just to make it work. And it was a handful barrier. It was 2 foot over. Pretty cool rodeo. First time they'd done it like that there. And Ace was kind of new on the scene in the rodeos. Been around all the jackpots I'd put on. And what you never really seen him because he was that one that never griped or caused problems. You seen him at the pay window or when he was entering. But I seen him there that weekend, and that next week the accident happened. And I went back and looked and seen about the steer, and then seen Troy at the funeral, and I just dang sure couldn't say it then. And I just told him I had something for him at a later date. And then a couple months went by, and I called him. I said, I got something for you, and told him. And anyway, it was steer 27. And I stuck him back in the NFR pen just to keep him away because we broke the rest of the steers in and started using them. And I said, but surely one run isn't going to hurt. As far as they're all supposed to be fresh when we break them in, but heck, what's one run? And he said he would love to have him. And I said, well, he's in the NFR pen right now. If he makes a cut, I'll bring him to you after Vegas. Well, the night before we went to Driggers to break him in, he cut his leg. Somehow or another, we wrapped him before we took him. And it wasn't bad. Well, the first time he got healed and the heel rope come tight, it ripped the hide down his leg. And there was no fixing it in 45 days. If it had been a front leg, I'd have spray painted some gray paint on him and he'd have been here. But as far as the antibiotics, we doctored daily. I've never had one doctor that much. And he got healed up. And I got to looking. I bought my first set of Mexican steers in March of 2005, and I still have 5 of them left, and one of those are number 27. So I figured we probably wouldn't use another 27 ever again. So
Yeah.
the rest of the story, Ross can take up.
Yeah. Then to continue that, tell us what your dad discovered.
Yeah, so then my dad, we got Ace's truck and trailer at the house and everything, and his trailer had been sitting. Nobody used it or anything, and my dad needed to go get some feed, and he talked himself into taking it, goes and gets it loaded up with feed, and gets back to the house and starts unloading it. And Ace wasn't a big-time football player or nothing, but he played football and had fun with his buddies and stuff. And as he's unloading that feed, Ace's picture, he's got his football picture hung up behind the feed. As he starts lowering it down, his football number was 27, and we hadn't put that together until after Bobby Joe said that. So my dad calls Bobby Joe, what'd you say that steer's number was? Sure enough, it was 27. So that was just pretty wild. But yeah, just for Bobby Joe to do that, he's been a long-time friend of our family. He's known my family for a really long time, and for him to do that, it's really, really special, and it means a lot to all of us. I know it means a lot to my mom and my dad, and they'd be telling them that if they were up here, but it's just everybody in the rodeo community has been so great to us and been so supportive. And a lot of the team ropers, they got feathers on their hats, that have Ace's name on them, and it's so special. All these guys, Ace looked up to them. He really did, and he wanted to rodeo eventually. So it's just, for them to do that, it means a lot, and we really, really appreciate it. There's no way we could show our appreciation. It means a lot. It does.
And I don't know why y'all had this guy on the show, but he said he qualified for the finals 27 times. Everything happens for a reason.
Isn't
There
it
you go.
just, it really is unbelievable, the significance of numbers. And I know there's nothing that can ease the pain, and such an amazing family, and everyone, hurts so much for you all. But I know your parents have said they know Ace is in heaven, and just the significance of all these numbers coming together is just so reassuring that he's in a better place, and God is with you all through all of this.
No, definitely. There's been it's just thing after thing that has lined up, and now looking back, it seems like it had to be, there's a bigger plan, and we don't know what it is, but there definitely is a bigger plan. It's been very eye-opening, and it's been really tough, but it's been very eye-opening, and I know that it's definitely helped my relationship with God, and I know that Ace has done that for other people after his passing, and so if that's one positive thing that comes out of it, we'll take it.
Yeah. Were you going to say something about number 27?
No, I was good. I'm good. I'm not going to say nothing. I only roped with Ace one time at the U.S. Finals. Troy called me and asked me to rope with Ace, and I'm probably the only guy that probably missed for him. But no, it was good. He's a nice young man. I hadn't met him very many times, but he was a super nice kid.
Yeah. I was reading the article that Chelsea wrote, and she put in there, it was hard for you to even get the words out once you found the steer and you called Troy. I mean, it's just thinking back on all of it. I mean, it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm kind of like this guy right here, a big old sissy, when it comes to stuff like that. And it's just, and the night he called me, I was actually talking to the friend of ours, vet in town, Jared Rantley. And Troy texted me, and Jared said, "Hey, bring the steer to my house. I'll take care of him. Don't worry about it." And which I didn't have time to get him over there, so we doctored him ourselves. And then he texted what was the number, and then when he called and told me about the uniform, I couldn't say nothing. I was like, "Hold on a minute," but it's just crazy how things like that happen. And
Yeah.
it's kind of, this is a little off subject, but just like the Cody Neesmith story, the steer, how many kids have roped the dummy, have to win the 10th round to win the world, and that's what Colby Lovell had to do. And 5 guys had to mess up. 5 best guys in the world had to mess up in Dallas, and they did. And that steer number was 7-11, just like the Vegas odds out here. Like it's wild what I've had to experience with these events. So
It's when you see God's hand in everything, especially during those times that are so hard, it really does mean a lot. And I'm so glad that you all shared that story with everyone, and we're able to come up here and talk about it, because I know it's not easy. I know how much y'all miss him. Anything else any of you would like to add?
No, just thank you for having us and talking about it. We really appreciate it, and thank you to Chelsea. She's been there from the start, and gotten the word out about Ace from the very beginning, and just been great, and did a great job writing that article. It was very special. It means a lot.
Well, like I said, I don't know, what a steer could mean to somebody, but just like I said, I've got one, the same 27, and he's about 21, 2 years old, and he's still in pretty decent shape for that. So the new 27, hopefully they'll get 25 years out of him. So at least have a piece for a long time.
Yeah, he'll be around for a long time.
Well, I appreciate everything. It was great being up here with these guys, listening to them talk and everything like that. So appreciate you having us on.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
We'll continue
Thank
praying
you.
for your family, and wanted to share that story with all of you, and so much appreciate these guys coming up and talking about that, and also the NFR. We're wishing those top 15 teams the best of luck the rest of this time. They deserve to be there, and it makes it a lot of fun for us to watch. Come join us right here at the South Point for the World Series finale. I'm Amy Wilson. This has been the replay on EQN Sports. Special thank you to Tee Woolman, Bobby Joe Hill, and Ross Ashford for being up here with us, and we're about to start a short round, so we'll get to that.